Hello, everyone. I have been acquiring quite a bit of new music lately. I've been traveling around and I've been buying things online and I've been getting gifts from people. So not only do I have a few Rekkids to show you, but I also have a little stack of CDs, a video, and on top of that, I have a couple of really cool vintage magazines to share with you. Let's do it. All right, let's get started. I have a lot of new music that I've acquired in the last month, and let me start with a couple of things that my friend Ian Shannon gave me before I left town in May. He had acquired a couple of records and somehow got additional copies through mistakenly ordering them twice or whatever. So this is one of the records he gave me. This is a band called Yob. This album is called Catharsis. It came out in 2019. It is doom metal, and the cover's pretty cool. Really cool, lots of info in there, and you see the back. It's on Relapse Records, and here is the vinyl, black vinyl. Now, I'd never heard this band before, and I put this on the other day, and it first struck me as, most doom stoner stuff strikes me as Black Sabbath that's played at half speed. This is totally Black Sabbath played at half speed. Even the guy's vocals are kind of reminiscent of an Ozzy-like flavor to them. And it was good, but the whole time I was listening to it, I kept thinking, this is Black Sabbath at half speed. But it was cool. I dig it. All right, a couple of quick needle drops on this Yob album. As I called it, Black Sabbath on half speed. Here we go. There you go. Now, the next record Ian gave me, I liked a little more, and I was surprised. High on Fire. It's a record called The Art of Self-Defense. Came out in 2021. Very cool 2-album set. And Ian was even geeky enough to save the hype sticker, which I always do. I'm a hype sticker whore. So there's the gatefold, and let me show you the purdy vinyl. There's the purdy vinyl. Now, I remember back in the day, me and Ian, this is probably 15 years ago or something, maybe more, we went and saw High on Fire somewhere. I think we only caught maybe the last song or two. We arrived late, and I think High on Fire was opening for maybe Opeth or something. I don't know. But I remember not liking them very much when we saw them, and I guess maybe it was because we only saw a song or two. I don't know. I just never really liked High on Fire very much. From what I've heard, but this record is great. I really like it. It is, of course, stoner rock, I guess is what they call it. But I really dug it, and so I'll be listening to this more. Thank you, Ian Shannon. All right, here's a little taste of High on Fire. Here we go. Now, on to my trip to California. The first thing I did when I got to California was I went to Amoeba Records. And you guys know Amoeba Records. If you don't, you should. I picked up some CDs there, really cheap. I got this. It's called Long Time Coming, Ronaldo and the Loaf live in Vienna. This is Ronaldo and the Loaf, a favorite band of mine since I was in college. Weirdos. At the risk of using that term too much. So they are weirdos, and the music is weird. And it's really interesting that they were able to play this stuff live after so many years. They were around in the 80s, 90s. Interesting story. There's a documentary about them that's out right now that I just happen to be in. But I was really jazzed to get this for a used price. as it is an import and not very easy to find these days. So this is great. I listen to it. I love it. If you're a Ronaldo and Loaf fan, check it out. I also got part 1 of the new Men Without Hats release called Men Without Hats Again. It was cheap too, $10 sealed, $10.98. It's got 5 songs on it. There's also part 2, which I don't have yet. But I'm a big fan of Men Without Hats. I like just about their whole catalog. Their whole discography is appealing to me, especially the first 2 or 3 albums. And then there was an album they put out maybe 2010, 2011, maybe 2012. I think it was called Love in the Age of War or something like that. But that was a great CD. That was a mostly black CD cover. But yeah, love Men Without Hats. This is great. I've only listened to it once, but I'm going to give it some more listens. And no, I love Men Without Hats, though. And then the last thing I bought at Amoeba on my first day in California was this Severed Heads Living Museum album. And I'm a Severed Heads completist. I'm a collector. I'm a huge fan. And this is all live recordings from 2019. They're final live shows of Severed Heads. And this is great. Listened to it, loved it. It's really hard for me to dislike any Severed Heads. I am completely in love with their whole catalog. So Severed Heads, they rule. Now, continuing my California journey, I went to hang out with my friend Art T. Barnes. Not Art Barnes, R.T. Barnes. There's Art Barnes and there's Artie Barnes. So let me show you. This is Art Barnes, a.k.a. Bill Mooney. This is Artie Barnes, a.k.a. Robert Hamer. Artie, is the one that I met up with in California. I met him at his house one evening. We had pizza. I had some beer. And it was really fun. And he took me into his archives room, which his wife said nobody ever gets to go into. I was really excited to be there. So he took me into this little garage where he keeps all of his archives. And he had just multiples and multiples of all the Barnes and Barnes releases, but many, many more things. Dr. Demento, a lot of 80s new wave stuff, a lot of 60s stuff, the Doors. He has a huge collection. He pulled this out for me. It's signed by Bill Mooney, Dr. Demento, and then on the night he gave it to me, Artie signed it to me. And this is a 1979 single and called Something's in the Bag and Boogie Woogie Amputee. And there's the B-side. Very cool. Like, there was just stacks and stacks of these, all unplayed, vintage old stock. So there's 1979. He also gave me this amazing original 1978 Fish Heads single. We all know the song Fish Heads, right? Autographed by Dr. Demento, Bill Mooney, and again, Artie Barnes signed it for me as he gave it to me. These autographs were put there years and years ago, I believe, but this is the one that he signed for me. High School Gym is the B-side. Very cool to have this in my collection. I do have the Fish Heads picture disc in my collection, but now I have the 7-inch, and I'm pretty happy about it. And it doesn't stop there. My friend Artie also gave me this amazing vinyl edition of their album 6, S-I-C-K-S. This came out in 1986. I really love this album. I think this might be my favorite Barnes and Barnes album. It's got songs like Homophobic Dream, number 22. It's got Pizza Face. It's got Sit on My Lap and Call Me Daddy. Preschool Games. Smelly Finger Blues. I hate a lot of songs are great. A lot of songs are great. Warning, the sickest songs ever collected on one record. Very cool. There's Artie. There's Art, there's the Rhino logo, and there's a little squiggle. So yeah, this was sealed when he gave it to me, of course. Beautiful condition. And check out that autograph. Michael, you're a groove. Love ya, Artie Barnes. That's cool. And while I was at Artie's house, I actually wore these very same glasses. I was pretty excited about that. A taste of Barnes and Barnes 6. Here we go. Just a little quick taste.
Well, it's not that I'm gay, at least till today. Making me scream, taken to the extreme. Me hurting me, there's a penis.
right, Barnes and Barnes, thank you. So, Artie was hooking me up, being super, super kind, and he wasn't done. He wasn't done at all. He gave me my favorite album, 6, on CD, and guess what? Autographed by Dr. Demento and Artie Barnes. Pretty cool. Love this album. Also gave me their Spaz Chow album. This came out in 97 on CD. I had never heard this album before. I dig it. I love it. It's a lot of material on here too. A lot of songs on here. There's Artie. There's Art. I even kept a little sticker, of course. That's how I roll. But thank you for this. I gotta listen to that more. I've only heard that once. And then, look at this. After I saw Mr. Artie Barnes at his house, the next day I went record shopping and I found this out in Santa Ana at Rhino Records. I'd never been to the Rhino Records store out there. I believe actually it's not technically in Santa Ana, but we were on a trip to Santa Ana, me and my friend Rob, the Wax, stopped at this record store, Rhino, somewhere along our way. I didn't have this bootleg. It's bootleg live at the old Waldorf Theater, and here is the very bootleggy looking CD, and yeah, it's all bootleg there. But being the Devo completist that I try to be, I had to pick this up, and it was cheap, $10. So that was pretty cool. Now, 2 other CDs, and I got more vinyl to show you. My friend Adrian, very kindly, brought these random CDs for me. She met me in Hollywood one night, and this is Sting. Now, I love the Police. I don't know a whole lot about Sting's solo work, but I do remember the Song of the Blue Turtles, I believe that album was called, and I do believe I saw that tour back in the day. And I don't remember hating it. So this is a Victoria's Secret exclusive CD. It's sealed. As long as this thing isn't worth big money, I'm going to open it and listen to it. But if it is worth big money, I will pass it on to somebody who can appreciate it more than me. But if it's not worth anything, I'm going to check it out because I'll give Sting a chance. I like the Police a whole lot. Now, Winger. I like hair metal. I like 80s music. I like metal in general. Never was I never got pulled in by Winger for whatever reason. Maybe it was because I remember that Kip Winger, the singer, went on to be a country music singer or something. Am I remembering that correctly? I don't know, but something kept me away from them. But when Adrian brought me this, I told myself, look, I'll give it a listen. It might not be my kind of hair metal, but I'll give it a try. And you know what? I didn't hate every song on it. It does tend to lean more towards ballads, which I'm not really into. And I'm not really keen on the singer's style of singing. But some of the music was good old hair metal, man, which is great. I'm glad I was able to dive into that. Now, on my visit to California, I went to the infamous Dr. Strange Records, and this is the one out near Santa, is it Santa? No, not Santa Ana. What am I thinking? That's where I saw Carcass. I can't remember the damn town this is this is located in, but we went to Dr. Strange Records. I put a video up about it, and now I want to show you in detail what I bought there. This, I've heard of these guys forever, for the last few years. People have recommended them to me over and over again. My friends in the VC here in the vinyl community on YouTube have talked about this band, and I've liked what I've heard. I've heard a song or two here and there, but this album, I just got it for the first time. I listened to it at least twice so far. Love it. Love it, love it, love it. I'm going to have to get their other stuff. Really fine stuff right here. Fine stuff. And I've been digging into kind of some of their live stuff, live videos on YouTube. Fantastic band. All right, some quick needle drops on this. The Sniffers, you got to check this out. This is great stuff. Here we go. Record rules. right, moving right along, also purchased at Dr. Strange. This reissue of the Dickies. This was originally released in '79, but this reissue came out in 2020. I'm a Dickies completist, so when I was searching around for things to buy at Dr. Strange, I saw this. I knew I didn't have it. Not that I really need it, because I have so many versions of this record on album, CD, whatever you want to say. But you know what? I had to have this. It's got a different hype sticker that I don't have. It's on a different label. I think it might be colored vinyl. Not quite sure. Haven't opened it yet. But anyway, Dickies, love them, collect them. I'm sick with it. And speaking of sick with it, I had to get this Dickies reissue as well. This was originally released in 1991. The Dickies Locked and Loaded came out in several different color covers, several different cover designs. I have most of all of them, if not all of them. So now I had to pick up this yellow vinyl reissue, which was released in 2018, I believe, on Tang Records. So yeah, had to have it. Love the Dickies. Had to support Dr. Strange Records. And the last thing I bought at Dr. Strange is this fantastic album by the Go-Go's. This was originally released in 2001. I bought it on CD right when it came out. I was kind of heavily following the Go-Go's and then Jane Weedland's solo projects. Frosted was one band she was in back then. Anyway, this came out back then in the early 2000s. I bought it on CD. It's never been released on vinyl until now. Cool blue vinyl version, which I haven't opened yet. Maybe I can get it open right now. You know what? I'm going to open it, and I'll let you hear a little bit of it as I have with some of the other records in this video. But yeah, great album, man. If you want to call it pop punk, if you want to call it power pop, whatever. But this is a fantastic Go-Go's record. I believe one of the guys from Green Day helped them with a song or two on this, and it's fantastic. Great album. Really happy to have this on vinyl. A welcome addition to my collection. All right, now some quick snippets from this awesome Go-Go's album. God bless the Go-Go's. First time on vinyl. Blue, it's pretty. Here's some quick snippets. All right, thank you, Go-Go's. Now, moving on. During my trip to California, I went out to Cruel World Festival, which is a concert that the band Devo, who I work for, was playing. So I was there for 2 days. There was a ton of bands there that I wanted to meet, that I wanted to get autographs from, but I really only was able to work out getting that from 2 bands. And here we go. This band, 45 Grave, a goth rock, death rock, punk rock band from California, from LA. This was originally released in 1983. It's a gatefold, very cool, early 45 Grave. And Dinah Cancer, her real name is Mary, she is probably the only original member left in the band, I believe. Evil. I think that's my favorite 45 Grave song. Yeah, so this, I got signed by Dinah Cancer herself. She was really cool. Look, to Michael, it's party time. Now, if you don't know, 45 Grave did the song It's Party Time on the Return of the Living Dead soundtrack in the 80s. That's where I first heard of 45 Grave, and I think a lot of people my age first heard of them through that soundtrack. So really digging the fact that I got 45 Grave autographed by Dinah Cancer. And now this was a big one for me. I've always been into Public Image Limited, far more than I was into the Sex Pistols. Big fan of John Lydon. I bought my first Public Image Limited record because it just said PIL on the cover, pill. and that was my nickname at the time in junior high school. Or high school, whenever it was. So that's why I bought his records initially. Then I realized that he was in the Sex Pistols, and that opened a whole new door of interest for me. But this is probably one of my favorite Public Image albums. This Is What You Want, This Is What You Get. I believe this came out in '84. And I asked John to sign it when I met him at Cruel World. He was really cool. And he started telling me a story about this suit on the back cover, which is why he signed the back cover. He signs it, "Hello, no, Michael. John." Whatever that says. And then tits. But he told me a story about this. And I can't remember one major part of the story. But what I'll tell you is that he said that he loved this suit. And he wore this suit on this cover. And he said right around the same time this was released, another band released an album where the guy was wearing this on the cover. And I can't remember who he told me it was. I want to say it was somebody like Heaven 17 or Simple Minds, or I don't know, some band from around this time, 1984, released an album that was very popular that had a guy wearing the exact same suit on the cover. So John told me, and you know what? I couldn't wear this suit anymore after that. I had to retire this suit that I love so much. So there's the story about John and his suit. Now, when I got home from travels, I was finally able to get something in the mail that I've been waiting for. It was waiting for me at home when I got home, and it was this. And I opened it on the live stream recently. My friends, Surfboard, I've been waiting to have this Keep on Truckin' album on vinyl for, God, like years now, I guess. It's been a long time. I think they originally released this in digital form either in 2020 or 2021. Took them a while to release in any kind of physical format. A cassette came out fairly recently, and then right after the cassette came out, this was finally issued on vinyl. I love this band. Man, Big Star and Youth Group Therapy, two of my favorites on here, but I like every song. Great in concert, great people. Here's a photo from a video shoot they were doing in Hollywood for the song Youth Group Therapy, and I was at this video shoot. I was kind of on the other side of the pool when this was happening, but yeah, they were taking some photos for the record, and looks good. So, Surfboard, we love you. I've heard a rumor that this record store day in June, this month, 2022, there's going to be a blue vinyl version of this maybe coming on record store day. I don't know if that's exactly true. Okay, just a couple of quick few needle drops on this Keep on Truckin' album by Surfboard. Here we go. Yeah, Surfboard, go! Another thing that was here when I got home, waiting for me, was a box full of these. Oh yeah, I finally got this record store day release. It is Devo. Oh no, it's Devo album, which came out 40 years ago this year in 1982. And this is a really fantastic picture disc version of the album. Okay, let's just show you here. And so I get these from the label since I work with the band and I run their archives. They typically always send me a few of every release so that I can put them in the archives. And this is details from the inner sleeve merchandise catalog that Devo often included in a lot of their albums. But isn't that pretty? And I've heard this doesn't sound too bad. I guess they're getting better at making picture discs sound good. Now, last couple things I have to show you are things that I purchased because a friend of mine used to run a record label here in North Carolina, and he had a bunch of old stock records laying around, new old stock. So I got them fairly cheap, and I wanted to share them with you. I already have this record, but I got another one because it's so cool. This is the Robert Delaney radio show. And basically what this is a 1975 recording made by an 11-year-old boy named Robert Delaney. He was at a camp youth camp, a kids camp in North Carolina in 1975. Now the story is that Robert Delaney was picked on and I guess supposedly beat up by another guy named Robert on the day this recording was made. And while the other kids at camp were sleeping or doing whatever they were doing, he had a little tape recorder, he and his friends. And the story is that they were taking turns with the tape recorder doing whatever they wanted to do into it. And when Robert got his turn, he did a little kind of mock radio show and he sang songs about his attacker, the other guy named Robert, and he just made fun of the other guy named Robert in these little ditties that he made up. And it's really cool. And of course, I'll give you a little needle drop on this. All right, now we're going to take you into just a little bit of the world of the Robert Delaney radio show, 1975. Here we go.
You little flea, get off of me. How did you like that song? It's a word to the wise to all you fuckers out there. The WBUYSUCK. I mean, you little shit, folks. You little shit. Stop sucking on my shit. I gotta get some milk and make some silk for Robert. You read the wrong way, down, 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 down. You read the wrong way, Jack. Robert, my back.
Thank you, Robert. So yeah, that came out 1992. It was recorded in 1975. 11-year-old Robert Delaney. Check it out if you can. Now, the last thing I got, old stock, I got a few of these. This is the band Sockeye from Ohio. This came out in 1994. That's my monkey, Chumpy, on the cover. That's a photo of him. Guys on the back here, Sockeye. This stuff, beautifully horrendous music. There's the guys, and they have little chumpies in their crotches. They're little chumpy monkey heads. And this is a beautiful album. It's black vinyl. There's the label. It's very juvenile, very taboo, a huge waste of time, but still one of the best albums ever released, ever. I would recommend you listen to this over and over again if you can find a copy of it. I bought a few of them. If you're interested, let me know, but I figure I might use them as prizes or gifts at some point along the way on this channel of mine. And while we're at it, let me just give you a needle drop on that too. Now it's time to dive into Sockeye. Retards hiss past my window. A beautiful art project. Here we go. Yeah. Get down with Sockeye. Great. So everybody, I have showed you lots of stuff that I picked up recently, and I almost forgot to show you. My friend Thor sent me a few things recently. Thor, the rock warrior from Canada. You know him, you love him. If you don't, you're fucking up. But anyway, he sent me some cool vintage stuff. Here's a magazine from San Diego called Loud and Clear. I believe this is from 1984. 1984. Says 1985. And one of those little local rags, zines that would cover whatever bands are playing around. Kicks, I love Kicks. Great hair metal. Never been a fan of Dokken. Yingwei, I think it's Yingwei. I don't know. I never could pronounce his name. But anyway, look, cool 80s looking stuff. Music, coupons for music. And look at this. Look at that. Great ad for King Cobra. Very cool. I always forget this guy's name, but I know him. He played with Ozzy, and some other people. Damn, what's his name? I always forget. Anyway, there's Yingwei. I just love old stuff like this. Reader's Poll. There's some bands probably never made it anywhere. Aircraft. Who the hell are they? Yeah, I love old stuff like this. Look at that. Great. Blue Meanie Records ad. So, yeah. Oh, Kicks. There they are. I like me some Kicks, man. That vocalist is great. Now, here's another really cool vintage metal magazine from my friend Thor. This one is 1984. 1984, Metallian, featuring Dio, Kiss, Rat. I love Rat. Wendy O poster inside. Can't lose with that. Twisted Sister, love them. Fastway, I saw them back in the day. Homegrown metal exclusive. So this is cool stuff. Got your Kiss Animalize advert there. But let's just get to the meat of the matter here. Let's get to that Wendy O poster. Right. There we go. Wendy O. Rest in peace, Wendy. We love you. What a great, great poster. Demolition Queen. All right, so the last thing that Thor sent me that I want to show you is this cool vintage video. Breakin' Metal. 70 minutes. 9 bands. Metallic rock. I believe this is the UK version of the VHS. And I don't know if I can even play this on US systems. But look who's on it. Hanoi Rocks, Thor, Rock Goddess, Black Sabbath, Wrathchild, Sledgehammer, Thin Lizzy. You know, more Thor, Rock Goddess, Lords of the New Church. Great stuff, man. Great stuff. Great compilation of 80s metal. And yeah, there you have it. And I tell you what, I'm really, really thankful to the people who gave me stuff. I'm really thankful that the rock and roll gods have let me find some of these things in stores. I'm very happy with all this stuff. Robert, thank you again. Artie, for your gifts. I appreciate these. Everybody, thanks for the subscriptions. Thanks for the likes. May the rock and roll gods bless you as they've blessed me. Talk to you later.